Hello everyone, my name is Liza Spirit and welcome to my YouTube channel, the channel where I talk about spiritual and personal growth and development, about psychology, tarot, and numerology as well, and I share different spiritual and journaling practices with you here. So if you're interested in all of this, don't forget to click that subscribe button so you are getting notified about any new videos which are coming every single week. What is the topic for today? We're going to talk about intuition, how to develop your intuition, and what is intuition. A lot of clients are coming to me and we actually talk about intuition. For example, I'm also a numerology expert in our matrix of resources based on your date of birth. We can see, are you struggling with intuition? Do you have the resource? Do you actually have the intuition? Can you use this intuition, this feeling for other people? Can you feel for other people? Or it's only working for yourself. So if you're interested to know it based on the numerology, you can always sign up for the personal one-on-one session with me, and I can help you to identify how many number seven is responsible for the intuition, how many number sevens you have, and what does it mean. But now we're focusing in general about the intuition. So what is intuition? Many people, they misunderstand what is actual intuition, how I'm supposed to feel it, how am I supposed to identify it. Is it my intuition right now is telling me, or something else? The problem with intuition, all of us have it. Every single person, you and you and you, everyone, you who are watching this video right now, if you think that you're struggling with intuition, no, you have the intuition as well. The problem is that why we struggle identifying it, because we have a lot of fears, and sometimes our fears, they misplace and they start taking over us and start controlling us. And let's say you're afraid of flying and you book a flight to another city, and you come to your partner and you start saying like, I think we shouldn't fly. I just have a feeling that something is going to happen. Something is bothering me. I don't think it's a good idea. Do you want to change it? Do you want to cancel those tickets? And should we take the train instead? And in some cases, it's not the intuition which is telling you that you shouldn't take that plane. And sometimes it's just your fear, because you're afraid of flying. You start thinking about it and you start thinking that, okay, I shouldn't do it. You start panicking. So sometimes we got to be careful with our fears, because we start saying that this is my intuition, I shouldn't do it, but it's actually your fear which stops you and blocks you from doing certain things. And the same idea when it comes to the logic. So why we sometimes do not listen to our intuition? Because we use logic. And there are different types of people. And intuition, it is all about feeling. And we have people who are not into feelings, people who are more logical, and it's totally normal. We are all different. That's kind of how we perceive the information. That's how we express ourselves as well. So people who have logic and who use logic a lot, sometimes they may struggle with that feeling of the intuition. So that's why when it comes to the intuition, what is it? The intuition is an extra advice, extra tip that it's given to you from somebody from above, from higher powers. Maybe you believe in God, maybe you believe in divine powers, you believe in angels, you believe in universe, or you believe in this inside gut feeling. And it happens at this present moment, right now, right here. So intuition is not about something that is going to happen later, in a week, or 2 weeks from now. If it's about 1 week or 2 weeks, sometimes it's usually our fears, and we start thinking about it and we start analyzing, should I go? Should I do that? Maybe it's my fear, and maybe it's my intuition telling me I shouldn't do it. I have a feeling. And if it's about some events in the future, we got to ask ourselves, is it actually my feeling? Or is it my logic, or is it my fear right now that it's taking control over me? So about the intuition, as I said, it's about this present moment. So if you want to know and you want to get extra help, extra feeling about the event in the future, you can also do that. But we got to close our eyes, we got to relax, and we need to ask this. We gotta ask the question to ourselves. Should I do that? How am I feeling about it? Like, should I go to this trip? And try to catch the first response. Yes and no. Like, what is the first response? So as I said, intuition is extra tip and advice at this present moment, right here, right now. And the problem, what's happening, not many people can catch it. Not many people can identify it. Not many people, or we get it, like we have our intuition telling us, and then we start using the logic, we turn on our brain and we start thinking about it, we start analyzing, maybe this is not a good idea, maybe I shouldn't do it, maybe something at work. Maybe you started doing a task and the first thought that came to your mind that you should do something differently. Maybe you should start with Excel spreadsheet. And then you turn on your brain and turn on your logic. And you're like, no, I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm going to use it based on the logic or how I've done things before. And we start analyzing. And then 20 minutes or 30 minutes later, we were like, yeah, I should have started with my Excel spreadsheet instead. So that's why we gotta first identify how does it feel. And many people struggle with identifying how does it feel, what is actually the intuition. Is it this voice inside of my mind? Or like, what is it? How am I supposed to identify it? And maybe even people who have an amazing intuition, maybe they were given extra resources, they maybe struggle at the beginning because they're struggling identifying. They're struggling listening to themselves. And intuition, it is all about listening to yourself. How are you feeling about it? What is your feeling? A gut feeling is telling you right now. So pay attention to this. Pay attention to how do you feel about it. That's why sometimes when we do different mindfulness practices, when we do meditations, or when we go for a walk by ourselves without any distractions, without music, without looking at our phone, without talking to anybody or listening to anything, when we are in the zone, that's when we start listening and reconnecting more with ourselves. That's why many people struggle listening to their intuition, because they're struggling connecting to themselves. They're struggling listening to themselves. What do I want? How do I feel? And that's why when we meditate or do different mindfulness practices, we are staying calm. We're in this quiet zone. We're zoned out. And that's when we can start having some ideas. That's when we can start having some tips. And we can start identifying them. Because right now we're zoned out and nothing. We're trying to turn off our brain during all of those practices. So how we can practice intuition in daily lives? I have kind of some examples I can give you, and you can start doing it even after watching this video. Let's say somebody's calling you, and don't look at your phone. Like literally you see it's calling. Don't look who is calling. Don't look what time is it. And I'll explain you why. And try to ask yourself, okay, who is that? And try to catch the first thought, the first one which comes to your mind. The first thought. How do you feel? Who is that? My partner. Okay. Well, look and check. I was like, okay, that's him. But the logic, why I said not to check the time, the logic would be, for example, okay, it's 4 p.m. My partner finishes his or her work. And they usually call me at that time. And I've been waiting for the call. There's nobody else who's going to call me at that time. And we agreed to meet at that time. And they were like, okay, that's him. This is going to be logic. And we want to avoid this logic. We want to catch the first thing. And if you don't get it correctly, nothing bad is going to happen. Nothing bad. Nobody is going to die. You're not going to hurt anybody. Or nothing bad is going to happen if you just didn't guess who's calling you correctly. Okay? Same with the clothing. When you woke up in the morning and you like ask yourself, you open a wardrobe, you're like, what should I wear? And try to catch the first thought that comes to your mind. Red dress. That red dress. And you're like, okay, I'll take that red dress. Why? No clue. There are no facts, no logic behind it, no idea. It's just the first thought that came to my mind. I want to wear that red dress. The logic is going to be when you open your wardrobe, You're like, okay, what is the weather outside? Okay, that's the temperature. And I have to go to that event, and I should wear the long sleeve, and the dress code is black and white, so it should be black. That's when we start using the logic, different facts and things we gotta consider. But I want you to add this spontaneous decisions and choices in terms of how do you feel. So sometimes, as I said, you can close your eyes and you can just ask yourself, like in this quiet mode, you can even take a deep breath and breathe out and like ask yourself, okay, what should I wear? This? Okay, I'll take it. Make sure that nothing's gonna happen because you picked this outfit, that you're safe and nothing's gonna happen if like in terms of like if it's not something super important, like important event, or like you were supposed to dress up officially for your presentation at work and you decided to dress and use a summer dress instead. So like it should be still appropriate, right? Maybe if it's just you going for a walk, and nothing's gonna happen if you didn't wear the right clothing. You can just always come back home and you can change if you like, just to make sure that you have some extra time. When you have some time, play around with it. Same idea, maybe you came downstairs and you went to the bus stop. Just ask yourself, okay, you see the bus is coming, and try to ask yourself, what is the bus number? Number 8? You see the bus comes and you're like, oh, it's not number 8. It's not the end of the world that you didn't get it right. Maybe there is number 8 in the license plate. At least half win. But we want to add this spontaneous question we asked ourselves. The first thing that comes to your mind, the first idea that comes to your mind, that's what we need to catch. That's what we need to understand. The logic would be, in the example of the bus stop, we came to the bus stop and you're like, this bus stop, we always have number 8, 12, 16, 144. And you're like, yeah, out of these numbers, probably it's already 350. It's usually number 6 comes to at that time, or number 8 comes at that time. So it's probably going to be number 8. That's your logic. That's the kind of facts you are using in order to prove your decisions. But when we're talking about intuition, there are no facts. You cannot explain why. You cannot explain why you made this decision and choice. You cannot explain this feeling. You cannot use any logic. You cannot use any facts to explain why you think that way, why you feel that way. So start playing around. Start maybe guessing, like, there's a guess number. Like, let's say I'll put number 2 behind my back. Oh, let's do it right now. 5. I have 5 fingers, right? I have 5 fingers, and I will pick a number just behind my back. And all you have to do is I haven't done it yet, not yet. All you will have to do, let me explain. All you have to do is to guess the number. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Okay? If you're ready, I already picked my number behind my back. And close your eyes right now. Take a deep breath in and out. And try to think about the number from 1 to 5. The first thought that came to your mind. Ask yourself, what is the number? What number does Liza have? Okay? Are you ready? Are you ready with a number? That's what I had. I had number 2. I had 2 fingers behind my back. You can do the same with your partner, with your friends. Try to guess. Try to play a little bit. Add the sense of playfulness. Okay? Do you want to do it one more time? I will use all 10. I will use all 10 fingers. And now you will have to guess how many fingers I have behind my back. From 1 to 10. Same idea. You can close your eyes. You can relax. And you can try guessing from 1 to 10. Ask yourself, how many fingers does Liza have behind her back? Ready? First thought, did you catch it? 8. It was number 8. You can write in the comments below if you got it correctly, if you didn't get correctly. It's okay. As I said, for some people it takes time. Some people, they know how to identify it. Some people, they know what is intuition. They used it for many years. I started playing around with my intuition when I was at school even. That's how I did all multiple choice exams at school. Sometimes I didn't have to study. Sometimes I would just close my eyes and ask, what is the answer? A, B, C, or D? Or like 1 out of 4. Which one? What's number? And I usually would do pretty good. Like, of course, I wouldn't get the highest grades because that's when my logic comes in play. I start thinking that it cannot be that way. But I loved when I had multiple choice questions exams because I can play around with my intuition. I can see, like, if I don't know the answer, I would just like, okay, I'll just give it a try. And you can give it a try too. Maybe sometimes take any multiple choice test for the subject you don't know, have no clue. I don't know, math or biology or chemistry. And 5 questions, multiple choice questions. And just try to use your intuition because you don't know the subject. Logic is not going to help you. You don't know it, and try to use your intuition for that. Try to see and like, okay, what is it like? Close your eyes and ask yourself, like, what is the answer? The first thought that comes to your mind is the correct one. And I want you to start identifying it, and I want you to improve it. And then after some time, you will start, like I have it sometimes, when I'm like, oh, I heard it. Like I knew this is my intuition. I knew this is the answer. I knew this is the right way to do the things. But sometimes I turn on my brain and I use my logic. And that's when sometimes things don't go according to the plan. Because I didn't listen to myself. I didn't listen to this gut feeling I had inside of me. And intuition, as I said, it's about this present moment. It's happening right here, right now, in this circumstances, in this situation, in this environment. And you gotta try to listen and you gotta feel, okay? So let's start learning more about how to feel and identifying all of those feelings. So after maybe a month of practicing it, come back to this video, message me and let me know how are you doing, or in general, how are you doing with your intuition? Write it in the comments below. Maybe you guessed all the numbers I gave you. Maybe you guessed everything correctly. Maybe let me put something behind my back right now. I have an object. I have a secret object. And that's the hardest level. It's called, the level of difficulty is advanced. This is for advanced level. And so I'll put it behind my back. And close your eyes and try to think what it could be. Just some thoughts, okay? The first thought that comes to your mind, what it could be. I can give you 3 answers, okay? 4 choices, we'll make it like a multiple choice. I have my phone, I have a Kindle, I have a notebook, and I have a camera cord. 4 answers: phone, notebook, camera cord, and Kindle. Okay? Are you ready? That's my magic candle. That's what I had. If you got it right, this advanced level, let me know in the comments below. If you didn't get it, it's totally okay. Don't get upset about it. You will figure it out. You will work towards it. And trust me, you will start knowing and feeling things better. When you start working on your intuition, it's going to help you a lot in your life. It's going to help you a lot to find and get this extra tips and advice coming from above. Because everyone is trying to help us. It's only us who put this barrier. It's only us who complicate things. So I want you to use all resources which are given to you. I want you to use to its maximum. So let's use our intuition. Yeah, let's use, as I said, everyone have it, and you have it too. Okay. So thank you everyone for watching this video. Let me know what you think about it, how you feel, what are your feelings about it, and I'm gonna see you in my next video.